Hola clase, ¿cómo están? Excelente, muy bien, and welcome back to Learning with Senor Cow Cow. All right, so today, my seventh period is going to take their own paper test, which the other half of seventh period took yesterday. So my seventh period A group, and uh, the ones that I have today, we are going to look over the reflexive verbs and how they work. Okay, let's get started. This first warm up is simply to see what do you remember from Spanish 2 about reflexive verbs, the things that we do to ourselves. Okay, don't look, don't look. Okay. All right, so here's the warm up. So, like number one is going to say, I shave myself. Number two is going to say, you shower yourself. Okay, if you want a hint, there might be a little may, little say in there somewhere. Okay, so clase, por favor, saquen papel y practiquen. Pause the video now and see what you remember. All right, first one is yo me afeito. I shave myself. Tú te duchas. You shower yourself. María se seca. She dries herself. Los niños se duermen. They fall asleep. Or se acuestan. They go to bed. They go lie down. And finally, nosotras nos maquillamos. We make up ourselves. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual notes here. This is on Google Classroom. I've posted the notes and today's worksheet. So we're basically doing this, but with one extra little thing. Okay, so here's your regular old present tense conjugation. O, a, sa, amo, sa, y san, like you've always done. Okay, for example, yo escucho música. Ellos beben or toman agua. Reflexive verbs. A reflexive verb is an action that someone does to him or herself. Examples of this are actions like brushing one's teeth or putting on clothes. Remember, if your hands come back to yourself, it is reflexive. Okay, it reflects back on you. Okay, for example, so make sure we're recording. Okay, I know it seems like I do this a lot, but trust me, I've really messed up before. Okay, so for example, bañar means to bathe. You can bathe a dog, you can bathe a child, whatever. You can bathe a hamster, little tiny bath. Any of those things you're bathing. You're bathing your dog, bathing a little kid. Your hands are going out and away from your body because you're doing it to someone or something else. Bañarse is to bathe oneself. This is when your hands come back to you and you're cleaning your own body. Okay, perfect example right here. Lavo el carro. I wash the car. You can see this man's hands going away from his body and washing the car. It's just a regular old action. At the bottom, me lavo las manos. I wash my hands. The person is touching their own hands. Okay, their hands came back to themselves. What it literally says is this: I wash on myself the hands. And that's why you don't say mis manos for my hands. If I'm washing and it's on myself, we can assume the hands are mine, okay, the ones sprouting from my arms. Here's another one. Baño el perro. I bathe the dog. Notice the hands going away from the body. And then me baño, word for word, says, I bathe myself. Okay, this person is doing it to themselves. Okay, so a reflexive verb looks like this. Ducharse means to shower oneself. Bañarse, to bathe oneself. Cepillarse, to brush oneself. And again, there's a lot of things you can brush. You can brush a horse. You can brush someone else's hair. Okay. But when you do it to yourself, cepillarse. Whether it's I brush my hair, they brush their hair, we brush our hair, whoever's doing it is doing it to themselves. So when you conjugate ducharse, this is extremely important to keep in mind. You are actually conjugating duchar. Before anything else, you remove the se. The se is just there to let you know whoever's about to do this is doing it to themselves. It's like taking the cap off a toothpaste before you can use it. So ducharse quickly becomes duchar. Regular old AR verb, nothing special about it. So when you do conjugate it, you do it like always, like I'm saying with like the o, as, a, but you add a reflexive pronoun. Me, te, se, nos, os, se, plus the verb. So for example, with the verb ducharse, me ducho. Word for word again, we can see it says, I shower myself. Te duchas. You shower yourself. In Spanish, you must always be clear about who is performing an action and who is receiving it. It's really, really, really popular. I mean, it's. Hold on, where am I? Sorry, I looked at an alert on my phone. It's very important to know who's doing something and who's receiving it. Am I giving flowers to you? Are they sending money to us? So in this case, I am brushing myself. He is showering himself. You always, always have to know who's receiving something. Even if it seems redundant, you have to. So, for example, if you walked up to somebody and instead of saying me ducho and you just said ducho, it would sound like somebody saying I shower, and they're waiting for something else because you haven't said who you shower. Hopefully you are able to understand that. I know it's kind of an abstract thing for us to understand. All right, so your reflexive pronouns, me to myself, te to yourself, se to himself, herself, itself, or you formal to yourself, nos to ourselves, os to y'all's selves in Spain, and se to themselves or you all. Okay? Now, here's practicing with the verb bañarse. So remember, you're going to use one of these every single time. No exception. Me te se, no so se. Okay, so practice these with bañarse. Go ahead, pause the video for a moment and just do it in your head. All right, this would be yo me baño. I bathe myself in the morning. Ellos se bañan. They bathe themselves at my house. Nosotros nos bañamos mucho. We bathe a lot. And again, this isn't saying that people are bathing together. Like, for example, you could say, in my house, we bathe at night. In my friend's house, they all shower in the morning. Okay? So just so you know, it's important to understand that these people don't have to be doing this together. Okay. Now, let's see. So I'm going to just, oh, actually, I need to go over this. Okay. So here is our vocabulary for this. So over here, we have the reflexive verbs. All right. So you have acostarse, to go to bed. If you're wondering why this is reflexive, it literally says to lay yourself down, to recline. Okay, so when you say like me acuesto a las 10, I lay myself down at 10 o'clock. Afeitarse is to shave. Arreglarse is a general to get ready. I get myself ready in the morning. Bañarse, to bathe. Cepillarse is to brush, which you can combine with los dientes for teeth or el pelo for hair. Despertarse, to wake up. Me despierto. Dormirse is to fall asleep. Me duermo. Ducharse, to shower oneself. Entrenarse, to train yourself, as in running and exercising. Lavarse is to wash. Levantarse, to get up. That's to physically get up, not the same as wake up. Maquillarse is to put on makeup. Peinarse, to comb one's hair. The hair is implied because that's really the only thing you should be combing. Ponerse la ropa, to put on clothes. Me pongo la ropa. Vestirse is to dress oneself. Me visto. And secarse is to dry oneself. Me seco. So vestirse is just a general I get dressed. Ponerse la ropa can be the same thing, but you can use that one to say something specific. Like I put on my jacket. Me pongo mi chaqueta. So these ones at the bottom, there's nothing special about them. They're not reflexive because, again, your hands, your arms are going away from you. Encender la luz, to turn on the light. Apagar la luz, to turn off the light. All right? So as far as mnemonics to remember these, so acostarse is to go to bed. So imagine if you're out there camping outdoors, you coast in under the stars. Afeitarse, you go to the barber shop, you say, give me a fade on the side. Afeitarse, shave it right in, give me a fade. Arreglarse, it's a regular thing to do to get ready. Bañarse means to bathe. That's why the bathroom is called el baño. That's where you'll find the bathtub. Cepillarse, I think of the two L's as hairs that have been lined up from brushing. Pelo, you already know, dientes, like dental. Despertarse, to wake up. You're desperate to stay asleep. Or you're desperate to wake up if you're having a nightmare. Dormirse, to fall asleep. Again, we've seen that verb before, but think of like a dorm, a dormitory is where people sleep. Ducharse, to shower. Let's say there's this guy, he's kind of a macho guy, and he says, man, girls take baths, dudes shower. I know it's kind of a stretch. Entrenarse has the word train in the middle, in a way. Lavarse, imagine you have dirt on your hand, so you stick your hand in lava to burn off the dirt, and probably your hand. Levantarse is kind of like the word levitate. It's when things, it means to rise. It also means like to pick up. So it's like you literally, you lift yourself, you get up. Maquillarse, I think of there's a makeup brand called MAC. This kind of the expensive stuff. Peinarse is such a pain to comb this hair. It gets so tangled. Ponerse la ropa and put, both start with a P. Vestirse, you dress yourself with a vest. And secarse, you want to save time, so you stick your head out the window in the car to dry off your hair. Okay, and then just to go over one time, the toiletries over to the right. So you have el cepillo is a brush. El cepillo de dientes, brush of teeth. Champú, shampoo. Crema de afeitar, the cream of shaving. Desodorante, deodorant. Jabón, soap. La pasta de dientes, toothpaste, paste of teeth. Brush of teeth, paste of teeth. El peine is a comb. El secador de pelo, hair dryer, dryer of hair. And again, if you learn that peinarse is to comb, peine is a comb. Okay? Afeitar, afeitarse. There's a bunch of these. Secar, to dry. Secador, dryer. Toalla, towel. Navaja, razor. Espejo, mirror. Maquillaje, makeup. Kind of a crazy word, but it's a good one. And then here are just some useful words. Usar, to use. La cama, bed. Axila, armpit. I added that one myself because you might as well know where you're putting the deodorant, or where you should be. El cuerpo is body, and el baño, you already should know, is bathroom. All right, so here's your practice for today, and we will go over this tomorrow. Let's see how much time I've already taken up of your time here. All right, we're at 14 minutes. I'd say give this sheet a good 15 minutes. See what you can get done. Describe the daily routine of Pigpen. First, he wakes up. Then, he gets up. After that, he brushes his teeth, and so on. These are good because you have to figure out what it is. Juanita blank con una toalla. Juanita dries herself with a towel, and so on. These are good for a little repetition, for saying things like me baño, te bañas, se baña, and so on. And then here's a little reading thing, and you answer the questions. Okay, so like I said, give it a good 15 minutes and see how you do. And that is also posted on Google Classroom. All right, that's it. I will see you later. Adios.